Alexis, do you want to address the drinking food thing?
I mean,
Or
that's outside of my expertise, but I think that it has been, for people who find it. I mean, I don't know. I just eat salads personally. I like to put lots of different stuff on salads. I love eating beets. I like to just cook beets on the stove in a chicken or a beef broth and eat the beets. You just boil them. Boil the beets in
really,
broth
we just
and eat
brought home
them.
6 of them yesterday, and
What's that?
we just brought home 6 beets yesterday.
Yeah, it is so delicious. The easiest, most delicious way to eat beets is to boil them in broth. And and if you do it on a low boil and just let them sit, like the beets will just absorb all the broth, and then they're so delicious. But a lot of people don't. I mean, and I guess, I don't eat a lot of raw vegetables, so maybe I would benefit from juicing. But I think that that's what the caller's um, question is getting to, is like, well, how about juicing as a way to eat a lot of raw vegetables and or eat a lot of vegetables, period. And I don't see any problem with that. I think it's a great idea. If you like juicing and you have a juicer and you want to juice carrots and beets and broccoli and kale and chard and all of these vegetables that you wouldn't really enjoy eating otherwise, and then add something sweet like an apple to it to make it more delicious. Like, I love anything, any juice that has apple, lemon, and ginger,
Oh,
right?
it's all anti-inflammatory, and it's so
Yeah,
good for your gut biome all
that's
day
right.
long. Matter of fact, the place that I told you about earlier, Ancient Awakenings in Woodstock, Georgia, they have a fire cider made with apple.
Yes, fire cider. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, so take some vegetables that you don't like or don't like eating raw, juice them along with apple, lemon, and ginger, and maybe even put in some herbs, something like turmeric. Although turmeric you're supposed to have with some fats. So, not everything is you're not going to. I don't know. It's really specific.
You
And
can
I'm
add a
not a
little
nutritionist,
coconut
so
oil. You can add a little coconut oil, like a dab of it, if you need to add the fat.
well,
So
that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. So I do put coconut oil in my smoothies. That makes so much sense. Yeah, so juicing is just a way to eat more vegetables than you would normally. But if you like eating salads and you like eating vegetables, then just eat your salads and your vegetables, or juice the ones you don't like and put in the apple and lemon and ginger to make it taste good.
So I have a yes and a question. So like there's this one company that provides a super green. It's got 2 pounds of vegetables in a little powder, and it's all organic,
Mhm.
responsibly produced.
Mhm.
And how do you feel about that if you mix it with, water and like I put in a nut milk, I put in a fibrous, fruit. Um, are you on board with a powder like that or not on board?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. One of my cousin is a Chinese medicine practitioner, and
For
she's
sure.
like the doctor for our family, right? She's always telling, if anybody in the family has a problem, she tells us the solution. And one of the things that she's recommended for my family members is amazing grass, the raw reserve amazing grass.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
that's another green powder that has organic greens that have been freeze dried and powdered, and you can put them
So
in
you're
a.
not against the powdered stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that,
As an adder, not as an everyday. Yeah.
I feel like people should learn to cook vegetables in a way that they're delicious, or learn to prepare raw vegetables in a way that they're delicious. Like, apparently with kale, you massage it, you use the salad dressings to soften it up, and then
I
it's
haven't figured
super
out kale
delicious.
yet, so go tell the world how to take on kale. Go for it, Lex. I
Well,
mean, we're growing kale, so we're just gonna have to figure it
yeah,
out.
I mean, especially with stuff you grow yourself, you just want to nibble it like a bunny rabbit would right out of your garden
Yeah.
because you made it and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I grew this. I grew beets for the first time in my life this year, and I was so excited, and I wanted to, I cooked them on the stove in broth. That's how I like to make beets. But then I ate all the beet greens too, and I made a beautiful salad with the beet greens, and then I ate the cooked beets on top of the beet greens, and it was so yummy. So, it's like when you do it yourself, you're really gonna love it, and you're gonna want to eat it, and you're going to appreciate it so much. But I think, like, if you're dealing with a family member who doesn't have a good diet and you're gonna make them something like I was caring for my parents for the last 5 years of their lives, and with my dad, I would make him something that was like a milkshake, right? Like a genuine milkshake, raw milk, ice cream. And then I would put like whatever I thought he needed in there. Because it's really hard to get him to eat vitamins, whatever you need to do for your loved ones, for your kids, for your parents, for yourself to get the nutrition that you need, I think is fine. And
So
and when you really get into it, you're going to end up loving these things raw, right out of the garden or cooked your favorite
Well,
way.
that's how I started, like with green beans. My girlfriend, when I was, her name's Renee Meltzer, and we grew up next door to each other in Highland Park, Illinois. And so we would walk to school and we'd have to pass her garden. So we'd eat the green beans, right? Raw from the garden. It's actually, that's the only way I eat green beans is raw. Because,
Really?
yeah, because once you cook them, they're no longer tasty. So, but I want to say this, which, Minister Plump, this is really important. That has not been mentioned yet. So we buy food processors to process our food. And, we blend it, we process whatever. And that's all good and well. And juicing can be good. But when you talk about juicing, like you don't want to be drinking an 8-ounce glass of pure orange juice. So if we don't have the fiber, if we're not the food processor, it will spike our sugar levels.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to be the food processor. Okay. Then it doesn't mean you can't do everything that Alexis said. And I do. Like I add green. I use a green powder. It's called Giving Greens, and I love it. It's clean. It's got 2 pounds of it's got all the prebiotics, probiotics, and 2 pounds of veggies with one little scoop. But then I do add mango, or I'll add pineapple, or I'll add apple, or I'll add we always have bananas in this household. And I do that because we need the fiber so that our sugar levels don't spike. And then I'll also say this is really important about the bananas. And I'm actually going to get my phone up so that I can accurately state this, because I used to work for many years with a functional medicine doctor, which is where I learned most of my knowledge. I worked with him for many, many years. And let me just do this. We talked about bananas, okay? And this, I would make, and I know this is not about smoothies and drinking, but this is information you all need to have. So I always used to let my bananas go black before I made banana bread.
Okay.
Yeah, not a good idea. So let me read this to you. So bananas come with a couple of problems. You have to take my glasses off to read. Sorry. One, they have a lot of sugar if you have direct exposure to sunlight, as in tropical regions. Not too much of a problem there. They have latex in them, so some people have an allergic reaction to latex. They are usually loaded with pesticides. So, okay, let's all assume we're going organic. Here's number 4. The brown spots on them are made from a chemical called tumor necrosis factor. And it's the exact same chemical compound that your spleen releases in response to stress and is very inflammatory, very, very inflammatory. So when you're consuming a banana, you don't want it going black. So, and this guy's like an idiot savant. I mean, like yeah. So you want to trust him, but check it out for yourself if you want to.